So I wanted to take a couple of minutes today to talk about what I believe is a very real possibility of both Evan Peters and Sarah Paulson at some point in the near future leaving American Horror Story. Maybe coming back, maybe being a lesser role, but still not being as prominent as they have been since the very start of the series. And I think there's a lot of evidence to support this, so let's just jump right into it. Share your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below.
Hey YouTubers, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell over by the subscriber button to notify you every single time I upload.
So let's first start off with Evan Peters, who obviously he's talked about this in general. I mean, recently he was talking to GQ before the premiere of American Horror Story Apocalypse, and he had this to say. I'll quote him about his time working on American Horror Story Cult. "It's just exhausting. It's really mentally draining. You don't want to go to those places ever in your life. And so you have to go there for the scenes, and it ends up integrating it somehow into your life. You're in traffic and you find yourself screaming and you're like, what the hell? This isn't who I am. I fight really hard to combat that and make sure that I'm watching comedies and hanging out with my fiance, Emma Roberts for anyone who doesn't know, and I'm chilling with friends and watching movies." Okay, so this is something that even Ryan Murphy had to come out and talk about. So he's obviously had conversations, these two guys, and one of the things Ryan Murphy said before the start of American Horror Story Apocalypse was, after talking with Evan Peters and knowing that he was having a real difficult time dealing with these characters and these really dark places that he had to go for them, he gave Evan a more comedic character to play in season 8. Obviously, Mr. Gallant was that character, the gay hairstylist, really a very fun character. We should have gotten more of him throughout season 8, but that's for a completely different video. Anyway, the whole point here is, yes, it seems pretty clear that Evan Peters would like to stay on in this show and Ryan Murphy is willing to work with him, but I'm wondering how much this is still going to get to him, because even though Evan Peters was playing more of a comedic character throughout season 8 of American Horror Story, it seems pretty clear that some of the stuff he had to do was still going out there, It was still really heavy work and really heavy stuff that he had to portray on screen. And I'm wondering, for a person who considers himself kind of goofy, silly, and being all around a good guy, or at least feeling like he is, he would not be willing to play these roles or be in a show this dark for that much longer. Like I said, he's been here since the very beginning, so it's not unlikely that he might want to step away at some point and do something completely different. Also, his star power has risen a whole lot since this show started, and he could probably go into do movies and other stuff like that. And that kind of leads me into Sarah Paulson. Now, there hasn't been a whole lot of whispering one way or the other whether or not she's going to leave the show. It's just, look at what she's doing outside of this show. I mean, she is popping up in so many movies, smaller roles granted, but her star power is definitely rising to a huge degree. I mean, today, the day of recording this, she is on that new Sandra Bullock movie that just premiered on Netflix. This year alone, she was in Ocean's 8, very prominent role in that movie, and a whole lot of fun to watch. You should definitely go see it if you haven't. And she's going to also premiere in next year's Glass, which looks fantastic. I wonder how big of a role she's actually going to have. Point being, even though these seasons are short, they still take a lot of time from the actors, and it's clear that she likes working with Ryan Murphy. She likes being on this show since she has been on it since the very beginning, but I'm wondering how much she's going to continue wanting to be a main lead for every single season, given the fact that Ryan Murphy wants to bring back the Coven Witches, and she is a pretty prominent figure in that universe. Whether it's in a season or a spin-off or something else like that, it might seem clear that she wants to step away from American Horror Story to focus either on that work, if it is a spinoff, or maybe just do other things in the movie-related world. And given the fact that at this point, after 2018, the general audience would at least recognize her, not really knowing her name, but it would at least recognize her from smaller, third leading woman parts from various movies or something like that, it makes a lot of sense that she would want to step up and do bigger things that aren't TV related, and she's going to need that time, so maybe stepping away from the television show would work in her favor. But like I said, all of this is just speculation. It's based on what people have said and what I've seen throughout this year alone, and whether or not these two actors would leave. The problem here is that I know a lot of fans feel like it wouldn't be American Horror Story without Evan Peters and Sarah Paulson because of their prominence throughout the entire series. So tell me in the comment section below, what do you think? Do you think that they might step away sometime in the near future? Maybe not season 9, maybe in season 10 they'll walk away, or maybe they will just hang on till the end of season 10, and whether or not the show continues or something, Evan Peters and Sarah Paulson will not be there. Guys, what are your thoughts? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell over by the subscriber button to notify you every single time I upload. It's been real.